when someone mentions your class or says something to me about it, when my mind starts wandering back 10 years or so ago, obviously the first thing that hits my mind being a coach is athletics. And I remember very easily the tremendous enthusiasm and so forth that you people had that year. First of all, in the athletic program, of course, we were co-champions that year in our conference. I mean, something we'd never done before. The year before, we'd gone 7-3 and had a good football team. It was also a new experience for me in that it was my third year at East Gaston. It was still new and so forth, home here. But the thing that I remember the most about that year, as far as football goes, I'm sure a lot of y'all remember the game up at Statesville. And I think that game right there showed the character and class and so forth of you people, because if you remember, we were down 20-0 at the end of the first quarter. And really, in my mind, thinking back now, here we were, the first round of the state playoffs, which East Gaston had never been to before, and here we are down 20-0 at the end of the first quarter. I mean, that's tough. That's a tough situation. But the sidelines were calm, and the fact that we felt like, and we had such great confidence in our football players and in our people, we felt like that it was a matter of time before we would come back. And hope and die you did.
Have a lot of fond memories of your class. I started out with your class. You don't know that. Y'all were sophomores. I was a first-year teacher at East Gaston. And you were a great class to grow up with, academic-wise and sports-wise. I remember your sports because I was involved in sports, coaching track, coaching JV basketball, coaching football, of course. Had a great football team. I remember very fond memories of the football team. Had some great seasons. I enjoyed being there. I kind of still miss not being there. I've traveled around to a couple of new schools. I've been to Cherryville, and I'm here at Vestal City High School now. Still coaching football and golf. My golf team is not like the golf teams I had at East Gaston by no means. We just try not to finish last in a match every year. Where it's just the opposite at East Gaston, we were trying to win them all. But it's nice that y'all getting together, and I'd like to wish you all the best of luck. If you ever get a chance, come by Vestal City High School and look me up. I'll be the guy with the silver hair. A little bit of weight too. Thank you.
Oh yes, I do remember our football team that year. In fact, I think we were 10-2, and we won the championship, conference championship that year. Just to brag a little on our team and the band. We won the championship. I think that's the time we beat South Point, wasn't it? You were supposed to say yes. And we went to Statesville for the playoff. And the band, of course, accompanied the team. And that was a night to be remembered.
Well, I'm my name's Thermos. I'm from here. I'm from Mount Holly. And I'd say East Gaston was the best, one of the best, high schools around here. And what I remember the most was the class of '79, because you smoke?
No thing.
Okay. They had the best, the best, the best ball team, the best football team, the best baseball team. You name it, they had it. They had the best here in '79. Now, ever since then, it's just gone downhill.
Now, are you saying they'll never have any better teams from now on, or you pretty well set?
I'm saying this for me. This is just for me. This is my personal feeling about East Gaston. I'm not saying, you know, that anybody else, you know, might not feel different or feel a different way about it. I'm just saying that for me, you know, that's the way I feel. And now my family, you know, all of them feels the same way. Now, I hadn't told them to feel that way or nothing. That's just, you know, just for me and my family, the way I feel about it.
So you do respect other people's feelings?
Oh, I respect it, yeah. But you know, if they were here when it was going on, and when, you know, the fans and everything was here, they couldn't see it no other way but that. I mean, it was the best. It was the best back in.
Went over and played South Point. Now, you got to remember, you people remember this. Now, we've beaten South Point many times since 1978. But you know, when you've never beaten somebody, and with the great tradition in football they had, it's hard to overcome some things. But great victory that night. We made some big plays. I guess the biggest play of the ball game is that I can remember is when we tackled their fine quarterback Jeff Williams for a loss, and he fumbled, and Scott Farmer picked the ball up, and of course he didn't have the greatest blazing speed in the world, but he scooped the ball up and ran, I think, about 50, 60 yards for a touchdown. He was so darn slow that it seemed like he ran about 200 yards for a touchdown, but he got in there. No, you're not that slow, Scott, if you're an audience there. You made a fine play there, old buddy, but he picked it up and took it in for a touchdown. This just completely turned the ball game around. And of course, winning that night was a great victory. It was a great victory for our team, our coaches, our whole school, the communities, everything else. I mean, it was just you know, a Camelot, you know, beating South Point. That was a wonderful experience.
And remembering that year was a very good year as far as athletics is concerned here at East Gaston. And it was a special year for me. As far as coaching, it was the best year I've ever had as far as the head coach is concerned, because I had 2 teams in the state playoffs. But in order to have teams in the state playoffs, you have to have special things happen. You have to have a good coaching staff, which I was fortunate enough to have, and Mike Crawford and Robert Keaton. And of course, you have to have the athletes to win. And that year we had the athletes.